Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome to the intuitive card reading for October 27th through November 2nd. So we're going into November. So you guys know what that means. That means a monthly video is going to be posted probably Friday. I know I was a little late last time. I swear I thought I had queued it up, but I did not. That was my bad, but it's definitely going to be on time. I'm going either for Thursday or Friday to be posted. Friday is Halloween, so what a nice treat. Yeah, so look out for that. So let's talk about the weekly. Please like this, before I jump in, please like this video, please subscribe to this channel, please share this video with anybody that needs to hear the energies and the influences of the week. What else do you guys need to do? Comments down below would be, well, you don't need to, but they are appreciated. I always love reading the comments. Let me know if you have any questions, just general comments, or, you know, if the reading resonated with you, didn't resonate with you. How it does is always intriguing to me, because I'm just reading and sometimes things don't make sense, but more often than not, it makes sense to someone, right? This is a reading for the collective. So, all right, enough is enough. My readings are getting, I always try to keep them under 30 minutes for you guys. They're getting too long again, so let's just jump right in. All right, what do we need? To be fair. Oh yeah, same two decks, guys, that I've been using the last few readings. You're familiar with them. They're shuffled and ready to go. So to be fair means balance. All right, so we need balance. So we need to be fair. We need to be fair. I think we actually got the mediator card somewhere, probably under action needed, which is similar energy to the to be fair. So we kind of need to be neutral. We need to be balanced. We need to see things maybe from both perspectives or all perspectives. Balance could literally quite be, you know, work-life balance, that kind of things. Make sure if you're working hard, you're also playing as well, you know, doing some fun things. Maybe we are being too judgmental with a friend. This could also be it. And we need to be, you know, you're taking one friend's side over the other. They're in an argument. This is basically saying that that's the mediator, right? Being, you know, looking at all different perspectives. Could be same energy, very similar. So yeah, we need to do that. There's not too much more I can say here. All right, action needed. Gossip in the shadow. Thrives in the power of passing on private or secret information. Betrayal of confidences. All right. We need to stop gossiping. We need to stop, we could be talking about us, but we need to kind of stop, you know, if we're finding that we're gossiping maybe a little too much at the office or something like that. This is under action needed, so Spirit is kind of slapping you on the wrist here and saying, like, stop it, you know, like, you know, cut that off. Rumors also could fall in this category. If you're finding that you're participating in rumors about somebody, maybe at the office, or, you know, maybe you're in school or something, cut it out. And then also could be other people, right? Other people, you know, if you find that somebody is gossiping too much or talking badly constantly about someone, it's okay to vent, but if you feel that it's too much, it's really important that you remove yourself or put a boundary, or distance yourself from this particular person or thing that's kind of going on here. It's best for your mental health. It's definitely best for your emotional health and all that good stuff. So action needed saying, so Spirit is saying, no, you got to take action on this. Remove yourself immediately. Issue, the fates. Okay, so this is always about, oh, I don't love it here, but I do love this card. So basically it's saying what will be. If it's meant to be, it'll be. So we're having issues with letting, well, not letting that go, but believing that, or trusting in that, rather, I should say. So we're having an issue with that. So how does that manifest? It could manifest in the way of, like, you trying to force something. You're trying to make something work. You're trying to shove a square peg in a round hole kind of situation, okay? So if you feel like you're doing something like that in your life, this could mean so many different things in so many different ways. If you feel like it really goes back to, are you forcing it or is it flowing? Okay, if you're continually forcing it, you know, it's probably not meant to be. Okay, and if it is, maybe it's a different way that maybe you know, universe has other plans for you. So if you're trying to force something, this is a sign to cut it out. But we definitely have issues with letting it be. Okay, so if you're trying to force a relationship, definitely comes up, right? If you're trying to force a job, if you're trying to force a situation of any kind or experience, let it go. That's why I was saying let it go before, because it's about letting go of the control around this. Like, you can't manufacture the outcome that you want if you continue to, you know, if you have to jump through so many hoops, you know, what will be will be. So we're definitely having issues there, but I definitely do feel like it gets, you know, we learn our lesson by the end of the week at least. All right, what else are we having issues with? We have challenge in the warrior. Oh, I love this card too, but I don't love it upside down. All right. Indifference to the suffering inflicted on others. Okay, so warrior is always about being brave and withstanding the storm. This is about doing the work and getting through something. And so it's reversed. So basically it could mean that we're not necessarily doing the work, that we don't feel as strong as we used to or usually. We might have weak moments, quote unquote weak moments, feeling down, feeling like we can't keep going. Guys, I don't love this between the between the issue and the challenge. I don't love this. I just want to send all my love to you guys. You know, this is some hard stuff we got going on. So it just feels like we feel like we can't keep going. We can't push through as usual. That's okay. And well, first of all, you can, but if you need to take a break, that's okay. Okay. If you feel that way, that's okay. Okay. But you definitely can. And so it looks like it's a little bit of a downer here this week with that. So if you're on some kind of healing journey, it's okay to take a break this week. And I feel like somebody needs to hear that. It's not the end of the world. You got to keep pushing, but it's all right if you feeling a little bit down this week and it just feels very difficult to keep pushing through. Okay, so that's all I have to say. Like, that's the wisdom of that. It's like saying, like, it's all right, you know, it's going to be a challenge this week and that's okay. Doesn't mean you're not going to accomplish what you need to accomplish. That doesn't mean you're not going to get to the end of the healing journey. That doesn't mean any of that. It just means it's okay, you know, if you're having trouble. What's changing? We have communication. Okay, so this is usually about positive communication. So this one, all right, you know, not so much a downer. This is basically saying our communication is changing. So the way we communicate in general. So maybe it, you know, and like I said, it's definitely on the positive end of things. So maybe if you were not the best communicator and you've improved your skills, whether that's you've learned to speak in a more sensitive manner, you learn to articulate your thoughts better, whatever it actually is, it just feels like we are definitely communicating differently. Maybe you have been emotionally unregulated like me, you know, and you react instead of respond sometimes. I would say oftentimes for me. You've kind of, you know, shifted that around and you're able to communicate yourself better, you know, instead of reacting, you're responding, you're kind of catching yourself. So that's really great. So whatever it actually is of all those examples, amazing job, but you are definitely figuring out a way how to communicate better in a more mature way. We'll say it's coming through for sure. You know, maybe in the past, like you've given the silent treatment, you know, when you've not gotten your way or something like that. Now you're actually communicating your needs or something. There could be a million different ways of communication changing. But like I said, it's from a positive lens, you know, from a not so positive to a positive lens, and also definitely feeling like a mature lens as well. So I love that. That's great. All right, focus, athlete. Okay. Whew. All right, so I see why we're having issues, because the athlete is always about transcending physical limits, as the card says, willpower, strength of spirit, you know, continuing to keep going, dedication, stamina, all of those things. So it's under focus, and it's saying this is our priority, is to keep going, but it's going to be challenging. Right, to add the warrior, you know, reversed on top of that. Okay, so that is going to be the challenge, but definitely continue to try to focus on that. So guys, I'm sorry if you're going through, you know, sending lots of love to you, right? You know, I'm also going through a healing journey forever now. So I don't love this. Okay, I don't love this going into a new month, but it is what it is. This is what's coming through, and we gotta just push through this week. That's the best thing I can say here. All right, reflect. Imagine. Did we get this in the same slot last time? I can't remember. I think we did. I think we actually got it last week. If that's the case, awesome, because I don't think we usually get the imagine is really about like visualization and kind of like looking forward, and usually reflect is about like looking backwards. So I love that this is saying like, you know, we can look backwards to move forward. And so basically it's saying that we can think about the things that we want to manifest. So the fact that we're in a place that we can do that is really good. And like you can imagine like a new beginning, or, you know, what you actually truly want. That means that something maybe is ending, or you're out of survival mode, or whatever it actually is. So yeah, it definitely does feel like you can look forward, and you can start to, like, it's asking you to continue to reflect on what you actually want your life to look like. And I love that. That's really good, and that's hopeful, I would say. Responsibilities, mediator. Well, look what's here. What did I say? So that makes sense. We have the to be fair card. Same thing. Okay, so it's doubling down. All right, pretty much very similar energy. The to be fair is about balance. It's about, you know, seeing all perspectives, that kind of thing. So is mediator. Okay, so this is about not taking sides. We got similar energy last week. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this mediator card came out last week as well. It's under responsibility, so it's saying it's your responsibility to stay balanced. It's your responsibility to look at all perspectives, or look at different perspectives. It's your responsibility not to take sides. That's the extra, you know, the extra energy here, or message I should say, with mediator. Don't take sides. It's your responsibility. So there might be conflict around you, and maybe you're tempted to take sides on something, but it's under responsibility. So it's saying like, don't do it. You know, don't do it. You know, remain neutral as much as you can, and, you know, try to hear all sides of something, you know, etc. By the way, if anybody's watching me that's like an attorney, I will definitely say this is like probably stuff that you hear all the time. Maybe not an attorney, but like well, yeah, as an attorney, you kind of have to see, but obviously you're representing a client, right? And you are mostly on their side, but you have to kind of see all perspectives. You have to see all angles, that kind of thing. Anybody that's in law, I feel like this is like, especially like coming through and being like, you know, this might be pertaining to you more specifically. That's just what I'm getting. I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney, so if that doesn't make sense, let me know down below. But I'm definitely like getting that vibe. It's kind of like, because you see like a lot of mediators sometimes, like people that, you know, try to get the case settled before it goes to court, for example, is like a mediator. So maybe an attorney doesn't, you know, do it, but it reminds me of law, right? So if you like, it might be talking to people specifically in law, and it might have like, it really has to do with, you know, you really have to put that into practice if you're in that position, basically, in that role. All right, money and finances. We have Treasure Island. Ooh, love this. In money, finances, and career. Okay, so it's basically saying you're hitting the jackpot. Okay, you're hitting the treasure. I love that for us, because we don't, you know, this isn't always happy stuff under money, finances, and career. So I'm just going to throw this out here. I love the comments, but if you come here and you comment and you say, I played a scratch off and I didn't win. I put all my money in a scratch off and I didn't win. Okay, I am not responsible for that. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. But if you want to buy a scratch off this week, this energy supports it, because it's basically saying like you hit the treasure in a way, okay? That's the energy that's coming through. I'm not responsible for your financial choices. I just want to say that one more time, okay? But I say what comes up, okay? So this is also like if you were looking for like if you were promised a bonus, it could come through this week. If you want to ask for a bonus or a raise, this week definitely supports that energy for sure. And what else? It might be, I know it's not under surprise, I know it's next to surprise, but I'm getting this feeling that it might be like surprise money, like money that you didn't know that was owed to you in some way, shape, or form. I'm telling you this right now as an example. I'm in New York, and we're supposed to be getting a stimulus check in October. I haven't gotten mine yet, but I would put this in this category, okay? That's extra bonus money. I think it's only like $200, but I'll take it. It's $200 I didn't have. And I could definitely put that in that category. That makes so much sense, right? I didn't quite earn it. It's a stimulus check, but it's still under money and finances. So any bonus, there could be bonus money coming through your way to you. Something going on here. It's definitely supported. Any kind of extra money is supported. Yeah. I don't think there's too much more I can say to this. It's just we like money, right? We like when extra money comes our way. All right, we have exorcist, freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses. Okay, so this is about helping people see their, in a way, like helping people see their toxicity, or see where they were wrong, or see where they might not be seeing things in reality or through a lens of truth. Okay, and so it's under surprise. So this could definitely fit into the mediator and the to be fair, because it could be signaling, like if you were the mediator and you were listening to two of your friends are fighting, and you hear, you come in with no judgment, no bias, they tell you exactly their, one person tells you their side, one person tells you the other side. Because you're so in the middle and neutral and unbiased, you can make a more accurate assessment about what's actually going on. And so you could see where people are toxic, or you can see where people made a mistake, or you can see where people were wrong. Okay, so it might have definitely have something to do with that, right? That's why Spirit is kind of asking you to see that, so you don't have your own bias going on, like you don't have your own shadow that you can't see, if that makes sense. So this is basically saying, like, you could see things in a clearer lens and actually point them out to people or yourself. Maybe there's something that you're not seeing, and it's under surprise, so it might surprise you. So the idea here is, like, maybe you did have a bias on something, and then you heard somebody out, and then you actually get their point or get their side or understand them a little bit better, and you actually see, like, oh, they're actually in the right, or I see their perspective, or no, that makes a lot of sense, where you previously didn't, if that makes sense. Like, you can kind of see where somebody's being destructive or chaotic or unreasonable, or anything that maybe other people don't see, or again, it could be towards yourself, something that you don't see. Okay, so guys, I would love any comments if through the week that this starts to make sense, because I can't think of anything that this would make sense with, unlike the Treasure Island, but very curious how this would show up for myself as well. And I'll even put a comment if something happens and that makes sense. Okay, friends, we have chaos and conflict. Okay, so we don't love this under the friends section. What is going on? What is going on, guys? A little bit of a rough week. It's very nice to have that Treasure Island, coming out right here during like kind of like a rough week, but not rough in money, finances, and career, which is great. Okay, so yeah, not great. I'm actually not surprised. The gossip card could definitely, be in our community, be in our friends groups. So it could definitely be chaos, conflict, not the best of times, people talking behind people's backs, gossip, that kind of stuff. So I could see how there could be chaos. It could be definitely related to that, but also other things. Maybe just fights or arguments, but again, we have that mediator and that to be fair, so very interesting stuff coming up there. But I definitely do feel like there might be, like, since there's so many different energies that are kind of meshing into that, I do kind of want to say it might be major, okay? Might be major. So, maybe a big fight in your community, or, big argument or big separation of some kind, like, that needs to be mended. I know we have 4 cards left. I wonder if we'll get the mending card. We'll see. But it definitely does feel like there might be like fighting or arguments, you know, between your close friend groups or any kind of community you're involved with. I would also say like people you interact with every day. So it could definitely be like work, you know, colleagues and coworkers and things like that. All right, romantic connection. We have Knight. Okay, loyalty, romance, and chivalry. Okay, we love this. So great for our people partnered up, for your significant others. Definitely feels like a great week for you guys. Lots of romance, lots of loyalty, lots of chivalry. Doing things for your partner, appreciation, like that kind of thing. So amazing. Our significant others are stepping up. And then it's also like a pretty good week for dating, I would say. Okay, so you'll meet somebody with some of those qualities possibly. So love that for our single people. All right, important to know that all that glitters is not gold. Yes, this is always about like looking at the, you know, the grass is kind of greener on the other side, is greener on the other side. You know, wishing for something that maybe you don't have, that is not as good as what you do have. So this is saying it's important to understand that. So if you're wishing for something else, this is just good to lock into and say, you know, what I have is enough, and maybe this is, you know, where I'm supposed to be. This would actually pair well with the Fates card, where we're having issues, you know, maybe we really, 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 really want something, and this, you know, the universe is just not giving it to us this week. And this is important to know and keep in mind that maybe you're not getting it because it's not as good as you think it is, okay? Maybe, you know, rejection is God's protection, if you ever heard that. So it's coming up for a reason, so keep that in your back pocket, you know. Health and wellness, what do we got going on? Oh, I can't pull this card. Martyr. Did we not get this in the last one? Or did we get it reversed? God, guys, if only my memory is working well. It's not. Okay, so learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. Okay, if it was, yeah, I believe it was in the shadow last time. It's in the light now, okay? So, service to oneself. Okay, so this is about doing it in a positive way. I know the shadow is more so about like doing it for pity, but this is actually doing it because you want to be in service of someone or something. So this is saying that you want to be in service. It's under health and wellness. So you might be helping somebody with their mental health. You know, might be helping somebody with their spiritual journey. You might be helping somebody with their physical. You know, it could be something as small as like helping somebody cross the street that's maybe disabled, you know, that's using a cane. Or, you know, small acts of kindness. This could definitely manifest as, you know, where you see somebody that, you know, maybe needs help in any of those areas that I mentioned. Yeah, not too much more I can say here, honestly. I would take opportunities to be the martyr, or opportunities just might fall in your lap for that. So watch out for people that need help, and definitely I feel like you're in a place where you can help them, which is cool. All right, overall outcome, here and now. Okay, so stay present, focus on the here and now. It's kind of contradictory to the imagine, which we have on the reflect. But I think that you can kind of like take time out, you know, to do that, to kind of look forward, but then also, you know, the rest of the day stay as present as possible, really understand what's going on, deal with the everyday, take things day by day, that kind of thing. So it's just, you know, a nice thing to hear, you know, towards the end of the week. You know, just take it day by day. Day by day. I will say that the imagine is a little bit more so like on the, not necessarily like extreme tangible details, and more of the here and now is more like take it day by day, you know, plan today and tomorrow, you know, as far as your schedule goes, and that's it. This is more so like long-term goals, you know, long-term goals, and aspirations and things like that. So, okay, guys, we have a few hiccups. It's okay. We can get through it. I definitely want to say that again with the warrior in the shadow, in the challenge. We can get through it, guys. Athlete tells us that we can. It's just going to be a little tough. It's going to feel like we're like walking through mud and that we can't go any longer and we can't do this any longer, whatever it actually is. Maybe it's a job that's draining you. Maybe it's kids that are draining you. Just keep going. Don't force things that don't work, okay? cut out the gossip. Okay, that is a very stark warning, I will say, with the action needed. Walk away from the gossip. Walk away from the talking about people. Okay, walk away from, I would even say, like, walk away from the misinformation. Don't engage, things like that. So everything else, I think, looks pretty good, especially this Treasure Island. Money, 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 right? All right, guys, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.